Hey friends, back again for another recipe. Today I'm making soup. This is my favorite soup for if I need kind of a good detox or cleanse, if it's really cold outside, if I'm sick and I don't have much of an appetite. It's very brothy and it has a few vegetables and a ton of herbs in it, but it's very simple and very light, and so it's just a great all-around soup base if you're looking for something kind of simple. So I'm about to put about a small onion that I chopped up real fine and 4 garlic cloves in the pot to start simmering, and then we'll go over what else I'm going to put in it. So I'm going to be right back. I've got oil heating right now. Okay, so I just put 1 small diced onion and 4 garlic cloves in a large stock pot with a little bit of oil. And to that I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of brown rice and a 1/4 cup of wild rice. And I'm just going to kind of let those season a little bit in with the onion and garlic, and kind of, I'm not really going to fry them. I'll put water in there before I get it too far along, but I'm going to put these in there with the onion and garlic and just let them cook for a few minutes. Also, Kai, the dog, decided to get her Nylabone, and she's lying on her bed right behind the camera and just going to town. So if you hear a gnawing noise, that is Kylie. So with this soup, I have a ton of herbs that I put in it to give it a lot of flavor without a lot of fat and calories. I do like to use some chicken broth or vegetable broth or bouillon, but I usually use about half broth and then the rest of it I make up with water because I do have so much flavor coming in from the herbs. So I just got this today. I'm not even sure I will need it. I have this vegetable bouillon, but I'm actually almost out. So I'm just going to fill this with water, shake it around, and try to get all the goodies out of here. And then I actually probably will use a good bit of this vegetable broth. So I just put a couple tablespoons of water in here. I'm just going to tighten the lid and then shake it around. Get all of the vegetable bouillon off the walls. Then I'll add it to the stock pot here. So in addition to the onion and garlic, usually I will add celery. I don't have any celery today. I just used the last of my celery last week, and I forgot to get some at the grocery store this morning. So I do have some, where is it? This one? Yeah, some homemade celery powder, and that adds good flavor. You can also use celery seed, and you can grind that up if you don't want whole seeds in there. But I'm also going to put in some dried parsley flakes. And then I do have, onion and garlic in the stock pot, but I also use onion powder and garlic powder. I have a little bit of basil I'll add in there. And then I usually add in a bunch of herbs that are kind of warm fall herbs. So rosemary, thyme, sage is a big one that I use. And I have some oregano, so I'll add that too. And I also use a little bit of white pepper. Nutritional yeast, I'm going to put some of this in there. It just adds kind of that nice umami flavor, so that's a good one. And then some chives, because I can never get enough onion flavor, it seems. So give this a little shake again. This looks to be pretty good shape. And then the only other things I'm going to add are some frozen green peas and some frozen chopped spinach, and that's it. So onion, garlic, spinach, peas, and some rice. Sometimes if I want to add a little bit more bulk to it, I will cook some chicken and add some cooked chicken. I don't think I'm going to do that for this batch. I think I'll just leave it vegetarian. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to fill this bowl with water. I'll probably do this twice. And that will be my water, and then I'll use most of this box of broth and then the rest of this broth, and that should be good. So once I get everything kind of going and get the water in there, I'm just going to let it simmer for about an hour to an hour and a half, and that will give us time to go for a walk. Then I'll come back in and add the Kylie. I'll come back in and add the spinach and the peas. And then once you add the frozen vegetables, you need to let it cook for another half hour or so, and then it's ready to eat. Okay, my onion, my garlic, my rice, all cooking up nicely. I'm gonna throw in this bouillon, slurry. About 2 cups of water. Give it a good stir, make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom of this pan. Go ahead and add some vegetable broth. It's about half the box, which is about 2 cups. And I'm gonna add another 2 cups of water. Just add a dash of white pepper. Onion powder. Garlic powder. Nutritional yeast. The rest of my celery powder, which isn't much, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. The rest of this basil, which is even less, maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. Bunch of chives. Couple tablespoons or so. I'll start out with about a teaspoon of salt. I'll have to adjust that, I'm sure. Usually I have to add more salt than I think I need. Add a little bit of oregano. I'll go kind of light on that, maybe a 1/2 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon. Parsley, I usually add a lot of parsley. Go light on the thyme. And actually, before I do this, I'm going to grind up the thyme, which there's about a 1/4 teaspoon, and the rosemary in my mortar and pestle. I use quite a bit of rosemary. There's about a teaspoon in there maybe. And then some rubbed sage. I like a lot of sage in here actually. Pull this baby off. And put about a teaspoon of sage in there too. So this is my rosemary. The thyme is underneath it. I don't like big pieces of rosemary, so I'm going to grind it up into a powder. And it just takes a couple seconds, and that's what it looks like. So that goes in. And that is all I'm going to add right now. So I'll stir everything in. That's it. I'm going to cover it, turn the heat down on low, and I'm going to go for a hike with Kai, and we'll come back in an hour and a half or so and check on this. Okay, back from my hike. Been gone about an hour and a half. Let's check this soup. See how it looks. And I left it on low, so it's not boiling, but it's definitely like right at a simmer, and my house smells really good. So things seem to be coming along nicely there. So what I'm going to add to this is about 1.5 cups of chopped frozen spinach, about a 1/2 cup of peas, and I found some frozen pesto in my freezer while I was digging out the peas and the spinach, so I thought, why not throw a little bit of that in there as well. So this is, of course, going to lower the temperature down a little bit, but I'm going to kick the heat up on this. And just stir it in a little bit, and then let it simmer for another half hour or so. Kick the heat up to like a medium low. All right, see you shortly. Okay, let's check this. It's been going for a while because I've been busy doing some painting. And what else did I do? I did something else. Oh, I added some more water to this. That's what I did. So it's a little soupier now. All right, let's turn this off. Okay, here's the moment of truth. I am facing a different direction because my counter is covered with paint supplies and an acrylic paint pour. I'll show you that in a minute. But let's give this a taste. Oh, yum. Flavor's perfect. Don't need any more salt. And it's got good flavor with all those herbs and everything. Yummy. Oh, this is so good. I really need this right now. Not that I really need a detox, but I feel like I've been indulging too much in just foods that I don't normally eat. This is going to be my little early year cleanse before my birthday. Okay, hope you enjoyed. I'll show you my paint here in a minute. Anyway, a refreshing green soup. Super good. I'll throw some ingredients and options down in the comments below. And if you want to make it, just go for it. This is one of those things that you can't really go wrong. You just throw a bunch of stuff in a pot and keep tasting until you get it where you want it. So until next time, bye. Here's my paint pour that I did. My colors, purple, dark kind of midnight blue, some lighter color blues, kind of an ocean theme. You know, the ocean has been on my mind lately. And there is the final product that I did. Looks kind of cool. Anyway, I'm excited about it. And here's my warm beach that I decided I needed in my life. So there it is right there.